We think about what motivates people. Basic needs like food, safety, and shelter usually come to mind first. These are the foundations of survival, the things we instinctively seek out. But in modern society, something else often takes precedence: status. Status is the invisible force that shapes our choices, sometimes even more than our need for survival. It's surprising how often people will prioritize their reputation or social standing over their physical well being. This shift in priorities reveals a lot about how our minds work and the society we live in. Of course, food, safety, and shelter are still important. These are the essentials that everyone needs to survive. Throughout history, humans have fought hard to secure these basic needs, and they remain crucial even today. But as societies have developed and life has become more comfortable for many, the focus has shifted. Now, with basic needs often met, people start looking for something more, something that gives them a sense of belonging and importance. That's where status comes in. Today's world, status can override even our most basic needs. People are willing to make sacrifices that seem irrational just to maintain or improve their social standing. This obsession with status is visible everywhere, from the way we dress to the jobs we choose and even the risks we take. It's not just about survival anymore, it's about being seen, respected, and admired. Status has become a currency, and many are willing to pay a high price for it. Unclear example of status-driven behavior is going into debt just to look rich. Many people buy expensive clothes, cars, or gadgets not because they need them, but because they want to project a certain image. The desire to appear wealthy or successful can lead to financial decisions that put their actual well-being at risk. It's a powerful reminder that status can drive people to make choices that don't always make sense logically, but feel necessary socially. Another example is staying in toxic jobs simply for the prestige. Many people endure stressful environments, difficult bosses, or unhealthy workloads because their position brings them status. The title, the company name, or the perceived importance of their role becomes more valuable than their own happiness or health. This shows how status can become a driving force, sometimes leading people to tolerate situations that are harmful just to maintain their social standing. People also avoid opportunities if there's a risk of social embarrassment. Even when a chance could lead to growth or success, the fear of losing status or being judged can hold them back. This hesitation isn't about the opportunity itself, but about how it might affect their reputation. The risk of social embarrassment becomes a barrier, showing just how much status influences our willingness to try new things. How does status have such a strong hold on us? Psychologically, losing status feels like social death. It triggers primal fears, making us feel threatened and vulnerable. Our brains are wired to seek acceptance and avoid rejection, so status becomes a way to ensure we stay connected and valued in our communities. This deep-rooted need explains why people will go to great lengths to protect their reputation, even if it means sacrificing other important aspects of their lives. Social death isn't just a metaphor, it's a real psychological experience. When someone loses status, they often feel isolated, rejected, and invisible. This sense of exclusion can be as painful as physical harm. It's why people fear public humiliation or being ignored. The threat of social death drives many of our behaviors, pushing us to conform, compete, and seek approval from others. A response to losing status is rooted in primal danger. In ancient times, being excluded from the group could mean losing access to resources and protection. Today, the stakes are different, but the feeling remains. The fear of losing status activates the same stress responses as physical threats. This explains why social situations can feel so intense and why people are so motivated to maintain their standing. Social media has amplified our obsession with status. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter act as public scoreboards where likes, followers, and comments become measures of social value. People spend hours curating their profiles, chasing approval, and comparing themselves to others. The constant feedback loop makes status more visible and more addictive than ever before. On social media, every post, photo, or comment is a chance to gain or lose status. The numbers, likes, shares, followers become a scoreboard that everyone can see. This public measurement of social value pushes people to compete for attention and approval. It's not just about sharing moments, it's about winning the status game. The addictive nature of social media comes from the constant search for approval. Every notification, like, or comment gives a small boost of status. This creates a cycle where people keep coming back, hopping for more validation. The need for approval becomes a habit and status becomes the reward. Social media also encourages constant comparison. People see others' achievements, lifestyles, and popularity and measure themselves against these standards. This comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy or envy, pushing people to try harder to improve their status. The pressure to keep up is relentless, and it shapes how people present themselves online and offline. To maintain status, people carefully curate their online identities. They choose what to share, how to present themselves, and which moments to highlight. This curation is about more than self-expression, it's about managing reputation and staying relevant. The desire to be seen in a certain way drives many decisions both online and in real life. Status isn't just about being admired, it's also about belonging. People seek status to feel accepted and valued by their peers. This sense of belonging is a powerful motivator, influencing everything from the way we dress to the opinions we share. When status is threatened, the fear of losing connection drives people to act in ways that protect their place in the group. The workplace, status can shape careers and relationships. Titles, promotions, and recognition become symbols of social value. People may compete for these markers, sometimes at the expense of collaboration or well-being. The drive for status can create tension, but it also motivates achievement and innovation. Understanding how status works in professional settings helps explain many workplace dynamics. Status also affects personal relationships. People often choose friends, partners, or social circles based on perceived status. The desire to associate with those who are respected or admired can influence who we connect with and how we behave. Status becomes a factor in building and maintaining relationships, shaping social networks and group dynamics. Sometimes, the pursuit of status leads to risk-taking. People may try new things, take bold steps, or push boundaries to stand out and gain recognition. While this can lead to innovation and progress, it can also result in mistakes or setbacks. The balance between risk and reward is often determined by how much status is at stake. On the other hand, status can drive conformity. People may follow trends, adopt popular opinions, or mimic successful behaviors to fit in and avoid losing status. This desire to conform helps maintain social harmony, but it can also limit individuality and creativity. The tension between standing out and fitting in is a constant challenge. Status is closely linked to self-esteem. When people feel respected and valued, their confidence grows. Conversely, losing status can lead to self-doubt and insecurity. The relationship between status and self-esteem explains why people are so sensitive to changes in their social standing and why they work hard to protect it. Status becomes part of our identity. The roles we play, the achievements we earn, and the recognition we receive all shape how we see ourselves. When status changes, our sense of identity can shift, leading to new goals or behaviors. Understanding this connection helps explain why status is such a powerful motivator. Different cultures value status in different ways. In some societies, status comes from wealth or power. In others, it's about wisdom or community service. These cultural differences influence how people pursue status and what they're willing to sacrifice for it. Recognizing these variations helps us understand the global impact of status. Technology has changed how we measure and display status. Online profiles, digital badges, and virtual achievements are new ways to signal social value. These tools make status more visible and accessible, but they also create new pressures and challenges. The digital age has made status more competitive and more public than ever. Marketers understand the power of status. Brands use prestige, exclusivity, and celebrity endorsements to attract customers. People buy products not just for their function but for the status they represent. This marketing strategy taps into our desire to be seen as successful or fashionable, driving consumer behavior. Education is another area where status matters. Degrees, awards, and academic achievements become symbols of social value. People may pursue higher education not just for knowledge but for the status it brings. This drive can shape career paths and influence life choices, showing how status affects even our learning. Within families, status can influence roles and relationships. Parents, siblings, and relatives may compete for recognition or approval. Family traditions and expectations often revolve around status, shaping how members interact and what they strive for. Understanding family dynamics reveals the subtle ways status drives behavior at home. Health choices can also be influenced by status. People may adopt diets, fitness routines, or wellness trends to signal their social value. Sometimes, the pursuit of status leads to unhealthy behaviors like extreme dieting or overworking. The connection between health and status shows how deeply status affects our daily lives. Fashion is a classic example of status-driven behavior. People choose clothes, accessories, and styles to project a certain image. Trends come and go, but the desire to be seen as stylish or successful remains. Fashion choices are often about more than personal taste, they're about signaling status to others. Achievements, awards, and milestones are ways to gain status. People work hard to reach goals that bring recognition and respect. These achievements become markers of social value, motivating further effort and ambition. The pursuit of status through achievement is a powerful force in both personal and professional life. Wealth is often seen as a symbol of status. People pursue financial success not just for comfort, but for the respect and admiration it brings. The connection between money and status drives many decisions, from career choices to spending habits. Understanding this link helps explain why people sometimes risk financial stability for the appearance of wealth. Power is another form of status. Leadership roles, influence, and authority become ways to gain social value. People may seek power to control resources, make decisions, or shape outcomes. The pursuit of power is often about more than practical benefits, it's about being seen as important and respected. Influence is a modern form of status. Social media influencers, thought leaders, and trendsetters gain recognition by shaping opinions and behaviors. The ability to influence others becomes a valuable asset, driving competition and creativity. Influence is about more than popularity, it's about setting the agenda and leading the conversation. Innovation can be driven by the desire for status. People invent new products, ideas, or solutions to stand out and gain recognition. The pursuit of innovation is often about more than solving problems, it's about being seen as creative and forward-thinking. Status motivates people to push boundaries and explore new possibilities. Art is another area where status plays a role. Artists seek recognition for their work and audiences value creativity and originality. Art becomes a way to signal status both for creators and collectors. The desire for artistic status drives experimentation, expression, and competition. Sports offer another path to status. Athletes gain respect and admiration through performance and achievement. Fans support teams and players, sharing in their status and success. The competition, teamwork, and dedication involved in sports make status a central motivator for both participants and spectators. Communities use status to organize and motivate members. Leaders, volunteers, and contributors gain recognition for their efforts. Status helps build trust, encourage participation, and reward achievement. The sense of community is strengthened by the way status is shared and celebrated. Politics is deeply influenced by status. Politicians seek public approval, endorsements, and leadership roles to gain social value. The competition for status drives campaigns, debates, and policy decisions. Understanding the role of status in politics helps explain why leaders act the way they do. Religion can also be a source of status. Leaders, followers, and communities gain recognition through faith, service, and tradition. Status shapes religious roles and practices, influencing how people participate and what they strive for. The connection between status and religion reveals another layer of motivation. Social issues often revolve around status. Inequality, discrimination, and privilege are all connected to how status is distributed and perceived. People fight for recognition, fairness, and respect, seeking to change the status quo. Understanding status helps explain many social challenges and movements. Entertainment is another area where status matters. Celebrities, performers, and creators gain recognition for their talent and popularity. Fans support and celebrate their achievements, sharing in their status. The entertainment industry thrives on status, driving competition and creativity. Travel can be a way to gain status. Visiting exotic locations, sharing travel stories, and collecting experiences become symbols of social value. People may choose destinations or activities based on how they'll be perceived by others. Travel becomes more than exploration, it's about status and storytelling. Lifestyle choices are often influenced by status. Where people live, what they eat, and how they spend their time become ways to signal social value. The pursuit of a certain lifestyle is about more than comfort, it's about being seen as successful, healthy, or fashionable. Status shapes everyday decisions. Peer pressure is closely linked to status. People may change their behavior, opinions, or appearance to fit in and gain approval. The desire to be accepted and respected drives conformity, sometimes leading to choices that aren't true to oneself. Peer pressure shows how powerful status can be in shaping behavior. Social change often starts with status. Leaders, activists, and innovators challenge the status quo, seeking recognition for their efforts. The drive for status motivates action, inspires followers, and creates momentum. Understanding the role of status in social change helps explain how movements grow and succeed. In the end, status is a powerful motivator that shapes almost every aspect of our lives. From the choices we make to the risks we take, status drives behavior in ways both obvious and subtle. Understanding how status works helps us see why people act the way they do and how society is organized. By recognizing the influence of status, we can make more conscious decisions and find balance between reputation and well-being.